Boom shakalaka. What's going on, everybody? Randall here from Crypto Love, and I am joined today by Seth Melamed, the Senior VP of Operations over at QUOINE. You might have also heard of KYC, cryptos, CoinEx, Liquid, all of that fun stuff. What's going on, Seth?
Hey, Crypto Love. I'm super excited to be here and can't wait to tell the story of our ICO platform.
Yeah, perfect. So we're going to get into that, into the nitty gritty. I hear you're a person to talk to about that. But before we do, why don't you just let everybody know about yourself?
Okay, well, I hope everyone starts off with some coffee so I don't put anybody to sleep. But just working backwards. So I'm the head of operations here at QUOINE, and I've also been part of developing our ICO platform. I've been with QUOINE for about 8 months now, but I've been kind of part of QUOINE for about 20 years because I've been very good friends with the founder and CTO of QUOINE, Mario Gomez-Lozada. We used to sit next to each other at a cubicle back in the late 90s at Merrill Lynch. And so I've been, so obviously I've been close friends with Mario for many years, and I finally joined QUOINE in September. Prior to that, I was working in investment banking for about 20 years, the past 11 at Goldman Sachs, where I was managing the equity derivative settlements for the US. And various roles at Goldman around the world. A lot of focus on payments and a little bit with prime brokerage. So I started getting into crypto about 4 years ago when Mario sent me, I don't know, I think it was about $20 or $30 worth of Bitcoin. And I looked at my wallet the other day, it was actually worth a couple $1,000s, so it was a pretty good deal for me. And I think I started my journey in crypto really in 2014. I started attending conferences in 2015, started buying some crypto, started reading all the white papers, and started creating my own sort of diagrams about how we could settle FX transactions on a blockchain. And at that point at Goldman Sachs, there wasn't a lot of interest in crypto, 2015, 2016, so it's kind of ahead of the curve there. But eventually, I just was so convinced of the technology and the possibilities that I just decided to leave and come to QUOINE. And it's been a great experience for me and really enjoying working with the crypto world.
Great. Yeah, sounds like, I mean, you guys have a lot of financial background, and that's really great for what you're planning on doing. But word on the street is you're doing something to really disrupt the ICO space. So what's that?
Yeah, that's right. So I think the way to start from this is, first of all, we learn from experience. And what I mean by that is QUOINE, we did our own ICO at the end of last year in November. For me, it was actually the second ICO I had of 2017. I also had the birth of my daughter, my initial child offering, and then I did an initial coin offering. And so really what was really interesting as I'm looking out, we had a big meeting room just the other side there that I'm looking out the window. And every day we were planning our ICO and we were putting it together. And we actually did the ICO on our exchange, on CoinEx and on QRYPTOS. And really we learned a lot about what it takes to run a big ICO. So our CEO would ask questions like, well, how many deposits have been happening? How many referrals have come in? How are we going to distribute the tokens to the buyers? Are we verifying all the buyers ahead of time? And how are we doing with variable rate pricing? And so all these questions and problems that came up during our ICO, I was kind of quietly taking notes in my little notebook because I'm so old school, I have to write stuff down. And so at the end of our ICO, at the end of November, we started really thinking about, wait a second, we've learned a lot here. We have an exchange platform. Why don't we create a framework where ICOs can actually almost self-service and run their ICO directly on our platform and solve a lot of the problems that the current ICO marketplace has. And so that's really where we got started.
Mm-hmm. Great. And so you've developed what you call ICO Mission Control. Tell us about what that is and how that works.
Yeah, so we call it ICO Mission Control for a couple of reasons. Probably I was binge watching some movies on Netflix and I came across it in December. But probably more importantly, I think Mission Control really speaks to what we're doing. anyone who's run an ICO, I helped run our ICO, understands it's a mission. It's sort of an all-consuming event, right? And the other thing about the platform, it's about control. So we put the control of how you manage your ICO into the hands of the project team. So I thought it was kind of a fitting name for the project. What do we mean by control? So we give all kinds of tools to the project team to execute on the ICO. And I'll talk about a few of these tools. Number one, we allow the team to set up phases of the ICO where they determine at each phase the chronological duration, the bonus, and the amount of tokens available in that phase. And we can then have certain triggers that say, well, if the chronological phase is over, it rolls to the next phase, or if the amount of tokens that are available for that phase are sold out, it will automatically roll the next phase. So the project teams can really control how much distribution, at what rates they distribute the token in the ICO. And the beauty of it is they don't need to write a smart contract. They don't need developers, blockchain engineers. They do it with clicking buttons. It's that fast. It's that easy, right? The second thing about the control that we've done is we've really thought a lot about, and this again, something born from our own experience and my personal experience, is we give them control of the pricing of their ICO. We live in a world with very volatile crypto prices, as we all know. Ethereum took a roller coaster the past few months, right? It went from 600 to 1200 to I don't know what, 300, and it's kind of like up and down and crazy, right? So in our ICO, when we launched it in October, November last year, what happened was I had a lot of people subscribing to our ICO where we were offering it in yen, dollars, Ethereum, Bitcoin, etc. And what happened was people were initially subscribing in Ethereum. And what happened was the price of Ethereum started ramping up. And people writing me emails are saying, you know what? I still want to subscribe to X amount of cash token, but I want to change from Ethereum to JPY because the JPY hadn't done anything and Ethereum had rocketed up. So they quite rightly arbitraged me. And I give them full credit for doing that. But that engendered like a real thought about, hey, wait a second, that must be a problem that token projects running their own ICOs have. And so what we did was we created a framework in the ICO Mission Control that says, okay, you can establish a reference rate for your token. So I'm going to have crypto love tokens, right? And I'll say one crypto love token costs $1, right? And that's my reference rate. But then I can enable the funding of the purchase of the crypto love tokens in Ethereum, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Cash. And the prices in those cryptos will be variable based on the exchange rate between dollar and the funding currency, Bitcoin, Ethereum. So if the Ethereum ramps up, the token buyers will actually pay less Ethereum. If Ethereum tanks versus the dollar, they'll have to put up more Ethereum to buy the same amount of tokens. But from the token issuer standpoint, there's, I would call, certainty of value of what the exchange of the token is. Mm-hmm. And so this is something we put into the Mission Control. It's very unique. We've had a lot of technology and development behind it. And one of the key reasons why we're able to implement it is because the ICO Mission Control sits atop one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world. We have access to real-time pricing. We know what the market looks like and the depth, and we can reprice the tokens versus funding currencies, and we basically reprice it every 3 seconds.
Great. So this sits on top of cryptos?
That's exactly right. So today it's sitting on top of cryptos, but this is where we're starting. It's not where we're ending. As some of the audience may know, we're actually in the process of combining our two platforms. Our first platform is QRYPTOS, which is a crypto to crypto only exchange, with QUOINE, which is a crypto to fiat exchange. And we're combining those two platforms into our Liquid platform, which is really an exciting development for us. We think it's a unique value proposition for all participants in the crypto world.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a big, exciting project, and I think we're going to speak about that in maybe another interview in the future.
Sure.
But, so with your ICO Mission Control, not only are you making it kind of better for investors to get in at a fixed rate and better for the ICO holders to know how much they're doing, but also you're dealing with the know your client stuff there, right?
Great point, Randall. That's a key value proposition, right? So if you think about it, a lot of crypto or blockchain projects, they have a mission. They're trying to disrupt the advertising agencies. They're trying to disrupt ride sharing. They're trying to disrupt, digital rights, media distribution. They're doing all these wonderful things. Doing KYC, comparing someone's selfie against a passport is not that. It is not disruptive. It is not strategic. It's not their real mission. For QUOINE, this is a core expertise, right? And we can do it at scale. We're constantly improving and investing in our KYC and AML infrastructure. And we take those administrative functions away from the project and we do it for them, and we do it quickly. So we think we're adding value to the ecosystem for the projects because they can focus on what they're doing and we can focus on what we do. And together we can create a better overall experience for the projects and for the token buyers.
Yeah. So is that something where when someone signs up for the KYC, they have to sign up once and then they'll be able to invest in multiple ICOs, or are they still going to have to sign up for the KYC with each individual ICO?
It's one and done, Randall. So once you sign up, you're verified, you can participate in all of the upcoming ICOs. And for the projects, it's not just their investors that may participate in the ICO. Of course, it's the hundreds of thousands of users already on our platform, already trading crypto, already have participated in other ICOs that they can now speak to directly and tell the story of their project to. So it's really about scalability, and that's what we're kind of introducing to the ICO process.
Wow, wonderful. Yeah, the once and done is really good because I know a lot of people have been looking for that solution who have been investing in ICOs. So I'm curious, do you use the cash token in the ecosystem of these hosting ICOs and different things like that?
Great question, Randall, and I get that question a lot. I hear the Telegram community. I get it. Look, we have I want to be clear, the ICO Mission Control is a product today. It is not a dream, it's not a hope, it's not a PowerPoint, it's not a plan in Q3, Q4, whatever. It's here today. That said, it's a beta. We've just done our first launch with our first partner. Within 1 week, we're going to have 3 more launches on the platform. So we've learned a lot. We wanted to make sure everything is working as we expected, and as I've explained, it does. And so we are now thinking very seriously about how do we benefit the cash holders for participation in the ICO. And we have some plans coming there. I don't want to reveal them right now because frankly, I haven't gotten sign off from the CEO, but we definitely have some thoughts and it's certainly on our roadmap. And I'm not talking roadmap 6 months. We're talking more like 6 weeks where cash holders are going to be able to benefit in the ICO marketplace.
Very cool. Yeah, so you just had your first ICO is going on right now on ICO Mission Control. I can't pronounce it, VUULR, Vuller.
You know what? I can't pronounce it either. No, it's Vuller, like viewing. Vuller.
Okay, Vuller. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So Vuller is really doing a really interesting concept. They're addressing a market that today is $240 billion. And what you have is a lot of, say, friction in the market for ownership of digital media rights for film and television. For instance, if you want to know who owns the media rights for Baywatch in Turkey, good luck, right? It's like finding a needle in a haystack. And they're creating a blockchain where those media rights can be found and stored on a blockchain. And further, people can execute and buy and sell those media rights. And the provenance and the ownership is all tracked on a blockchain. And they're using the Vuller token as a utility for the for the fees that are involved for participation in this marketplace. They also have, so that's sort of a B2B angle, but they've also gone a step further that they're actually encouraging community participation in this ecosystem, because one of the problems you have with the digital media rights is you have some sort of a digital media file. It's, again, it might be like Magnum PI in Spanish, right? And so does anyone know what Magnum PI is other than me? I've really dated myself here, but okay, let's try Beverly Hills.
Guy to have a cool mustache, Tom Selleck.
Okay, right. let's call it Star Wars in French, right? And so one of the things that they offer is for the consumers to participate is that consumers can start to provide some of the metadata for this digital media. And the metadata will sort of enhance the description of that media file. So if you're doing a search on the Bueller platform, you want to say, okay, show me all the movies with Harrison Ford. If the users have gone in and updated the metadata for this movie, Star Wars, and says, the main actor is Harrison Ford, then people doing a lookup on the Bueller platform, they'll be able to find a movie with Harrison Ford in it. And so you can imagine this at scale. You have all kinds of digital media and content. And if you get the users able to provide additional details about that media, it'll really help for the media buyers to do searches and find what they're looking for.
Yeah, great. So if an investor or if an ICO wanted to use ICO Mission Control, would they just make an account on Cryptos, or how would they go about doing it?
Yeah, so we've tried to make this as easily and seamless as possible. So the first gating that we have in terms of accessing the ICO Mission Control is that you get a corporate account and you get it verified. And you can reach out to me, my team, and we'll get you verified fairly quickly. But however, the corporate verification is a very important part of our gating and our due diligence process. And that's something I actually really wanted to talk about. So we are not the type of platform where we make access available to the highest bidder. We really put a strong emphasis on the due diligence and the evaluation of all the projects that we list on our platform. I guess one of the things I learned in my previous job at Goldman Sachs, there was sort of a saying that we thought about quite a bit, which is a financial institution has three things. It's capital, it's people, and it's reputation. If you lose the first two, you can always get them back. If you lose your reputation, you're done. And so this is a kind of mindset and ethic that we've applied when we evaluate projects for doing an ICO on our platform. And so the technical piece, of course, is you create your corporate account, you apply for it, you get prompted for all the information that we require. This is the white paper. We want to, for ERC-20, it's a smart contract audit. It's the legal opinion. We only do utility tokens. There's no security or equity tokens. We ask for information about the team members, all kinds of information about the offering. But in the background, what we're doing is kind of high-level due diligence. And we've established something here at QUOINE called the Token Listing Review Committee, TLRC. And what we do is we bring in sort of different disciplines to a committee meeting every Wednesday at 4 p.m. right here in this office where I'm sitting. And we have someone from legal, we have someone from compliance, we have someone from our technology, someone from our marketing team, someone from our operations team, and we look at the token in its sort of a 360 totality. And each of the members of the committee will take a look at the token from their perspective. So the legal team is looking at it, well, is this token really utility? Does it pass the Howey test? From our marketing standpoint, we look at the social media. We look at the engagement of the social media of the product. They're also looking at minimum viable product and the token utility, right? We're doing background checks on the team members behind the project, right? From a technology standpoint, we're looking at the source code in GitHub or Bitbucket, and we're seeing, what's going on here. Do we see a lot of commits happening? Do we see activity from the development side? And then we go around the circle. We look at compliance. Well, is there a reputational risk here? Is there any reasons why, the jurisdictions we offer our platform to may object to having this sort of token on the platform? So again, this committee is looking at the tokens from a 360 perspective. And only once we pass those committee, then the token actually can be made available in our ICO market.
Mm. Yeah, that's really great for anyone who's investing, because not only they have their own eyes to look at things, but they also have your whole entire team to kind of vet the projects. And it seems like it would make it better for them than just trying to go out and find ICOs, because we know there's issues with all those scam ICOs out there.
That's right. When I see those scams, I know I was in Vietnam last month, and there was a big scandal that happened out there with I think it's called iLife. And turns out it was $600 million of exit scam. And we can't have that, right? So we have to do this due diligence. We set up the infrastructure to make sure that nothing like that will ever happen. And even if you go back, even further, not that long ago, there was a big issue with the batch overflow issue, right? Mm-hmm. Where these ERC20 tokens didn't have the proper audit of the smart contract. And lo and behold, these projects are listed on some of the bigger exchanges, the kind of exchanges that give away Lambos for participation. And look what you got. You got, really poor quality tokens and real damage to the people that invested their hard-earned crypto assets into those projects. So we will do everything. We'll exclude even some potentially good projects in the effort to make sure that we're keeping only the best quality projects available for our clients. The other key thing I would say, and we haven't done it yet, and I always hate talking about what we're going to do because that's the friggin' blockchain world and it annoys me. But what we're very close to doing is we're going to bring in third parties, right, into our token evaluation process. And we think that's the right way to go because we want to make sure that there's an independent third-party voice, not an employee of QUOINE, that is not incented for us to list it, and they're going to be part of the risk rating and the evaluation of the token. And we think that's going to further enhance our due diligence process and ultimately lead to a better environment for all of our token buyers.
Awesome. That sounds good. So you touched on how people who want to have an ICO can use ICO Mission Control. How about people who want to invest in ICOs?
Yeah, so we've tried to make it as easy as possible. We've done a few things. So again, we have the main gating is that you have your account verified on our platform. So you do all the KYC, you submit your documentation, you're not, you pass the anti-terrorism checks and you're not Osama bin Laden, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. You'll get verified. You can participate, right? But we've done a little bit more. So what we've done is we've created a landing page about the project right within our exchange. And the landing page has all the information we collect from the token issuer. So the backgrounds of the founders and the advisors, the management team, the white paper, the smart contract audit, the link to GitHub, the economics of the sale, what the pricing, the different phases. There's videos about the projects. So we try to bring as much transparency and information to the token buyer as possible so they can make an informed decision. Because I believe that the best way to root out confusion and hacking and scams is just bringing transparency to the process. And that's what we're trying to do with the ICO platform. Cool.
Well, it sounds pretty cool. I did look at the Vueler page earlier, and it did look pretty nice. So I covered pretty much all of the questions that I had here. Anything else that I didn't touch on, or anything else you wanted to mention?
Yeah, look, we're super excited. The first thing I want to say to the entire crypto world and to you, Randall, and Crypto Love is we believe we have a world-class platform. We're looking for world-class projects to partner with. And so no matter how busy I am, I'm always open to speaking with leading blockchain projects because we feel like partnering with leading projects is how we're better serving the crypto world. And bringing and giving an opportunity to tell the story of those projects and making it available for our client base and really the entire world. The other thing I would say is that we're really expanding what the platform can do, and now we're starting to edge into the private sale process as well. So in our initial phase here, we've addressed the public sale, and we've addressed a key sort of, I would say, barrier to entry in that token buyers don't necessarily have visibility today of when their token is going to be listed on a secondary exchange. With our ICO platform, we've completely eliminated that concern. When you buy the token on the platform, number one, it settles into your wallet immediately. There's no waiting. There's no you buy it in January, you get it in March. You get settled in your wallet in a second or less. Number two, the buyers have the confidence and the knowledge, not implicit but explicit, that the token will be made available for secondary trading on QRYPTOS, QUOINE or LIQUID when that comes in the very near future, you know, either the same day the ICO completes or within 24 hours. That's the benchmark that we've set for us. So we're creating a clear path from the ICO to secondary market trading. And right now, my engineering team, myself, we're really focusing on the private sale experience as well. So we're looking to create really an end-to-end solution from the KYC to the AML to the private sale to the public sale to the secondary market trading. And we really want to serve the crypto economy from beginning to end. And so there'll be more announcements about that. But the way I like to do things is I like to do it and tell people about it later and not stuff up your inbox with announcements and hopes. We're just going to do it.
Wow, that is an awesome concept, because that's the first time I've heard of something like that, where you can just participate in ICO, and then as soon as it's over, the tokens are available, and it's not on a decentralized exchange with minimal volume. It's on QRYPTOS or one of the other large exchanges with pretty good volume.
That's right. And actually, we're going to beat, again, if I go back to our own experience, in November, we did our ICO. The ICO ended on November the 8th, and we didn't make our own token available on our own platform until November 21st. With ICO Mission Control and the ICO market, we're going to beat that, and we're setting ourselves up to the standard of 24 hours. And it'll be in a liquid market with lots of participants, order books, trading against multiple currency pairs.
Awesome. That sounds pretty incredible. Very cool. Yeah. Yeah. So, anything else?
No, I think we covered it all, Crypto Love. I'm really excited. And if any questions, feel free to reach out to me or the team. My email address is seth.melamed@coin.com. Sometimes I get a lot of emails, but you know, like I said, for good projects, we're always open for business.
Awesome. Well, Seth, I want to thank you so much for joining me for this interview. It's actually very exciting what you've got going on with ICO Mission Control. I mean, completely unparalleled from what I've seen in the market so far. So very cool. Yeah.
Thank you, Randall. It was a pleasure.
All right. Thanks very much. Peace.